welcome back. This is Breezing Through and I'm Emily. So today I'm going to show you how to change a pedestal sink to a vanity in a bathroom. So when we moved into this house 5.5 years ago, we have three full bathrooms, one in each bedroom, and a half bath. And in the half bath, there was just a pedestal sink. And this house has zero storage. Zero. Any storage that you've ever seen in any of the videos, I have added, including some closets in some places, which is really frustrating. And so coming into this house and having that pedestal sink there and not having any storage in that bathroom whatsoever was really frustrating. And because my husband works from our home in our bedroom, I get ready for the day after we've gotten our daughter to school most of the time. And so I'm getting ready downstairs and it's just easier with our son. And so I've had all of my makeup stuff and my hair stuff downstairs for several years now. And I was just frustrated that it was in like multiple drawers and multiple places, and I was in and out of the bathroom trying to do my hair and my makeup and getting stuff out of places, and drawers were open in the kitchen and I was done. So I finally caved, found a vanity at a reasonable price that was a good size, and had to put it together, mind you, and then installed it into the bathroom after, of course, I removed the pedestal sink. And now we have so much storage and it's so nice. So I'm gonna walk you through how to do it. I'm gonna show you how to remove the sink, like how to disconnect all the plumbing and everything, how to install the new sink, including the faucet and all of the things in between. So let's get started. Sink, again, doesn't take up a lot of space, but does not offer a lot of storage. And here are all of the places that I keep my makeup and my hair stuff, and they just needed a better place to go. So first I need to remove the pedestal sink. The very, very first thing I need to do is turn off the water under the sink. You can see I do this here. I turn both of the hot and the cold water valves to the right so that no water comes out when I turn the sink on. Then I need to detach the sink plumbing from the wall plumbing. There's the pipe that comes out of the wall and it connects to what's called the P-trap, and this is the pipe that kind of goes in a U shape underneath the sink and then goes up into the drain. And they're just connected by a threaded washer that sometimes you need to loosen up with a pair of pliers and then can be unscrewed by hand. The next thing is disconnecting the water, and there are these lines that go from the water in the wall to the handles on the sink, and those also likely will need to be loosened with a pair of pliers and then unscrewed by hand. Once everything was disconnected from the sink, I was then able to remove it. So with this pedestal sink, you can see that there is a silver piece on the wall that the pedestal is sitting up against to keep it upright. And all I had to do was pick the sink up and move it away from the wall in order to disconnect everything and take it out of the bathroom. I did remove the metal plate because I'm not going to need it for the vanity that's going in here, because that's going to be secured to the wall in a different way. And next up is actually assembling the vanity. I looked high and low for a vanity that was within a decent price range that had drawers specifically. I was very okay with it having a cabinet as well, but I really wanted drawers because I was using this for storage for my makeup and my hair stuff, and also took up a good amount of room in the bathroom. Of course, when you buy a vanity like this, especially online, it's not going to come assembled, so I did have to assemble it, which for me wasn't a big deal. I actually really enjoyed doing this, and it wasn't really hard, especially with the instructions. The hardest part was keeping the drawer hardware from my son, because he was very into playing with that and did not like it when I attached it to the actual vanity. The other thing I really liked about this specific vanity is only one of the drawers has the cutout in it for the plumbing. Most other vanities that I saw that were similar to this, both of the drawers had that cutout in it, so you lost drawer space. I really liked that only one of them had that, and then the second drawer on the bottom was a full drawer. Another thing I discovered when looking for a vanity was not all vanities come with a top on them, so the actual sink part. So I had to be very careful when looking for vanities that the one I actually picked did come with the countertop. The other thing I did discover and had to keep in mind was I was not going to get a porcelain sink or a stone slab sink with this vanity because it was about $300. You're really going to start seeing that kind of countertop slash sink when you get into the thousands of dollars for a vanity. Sometimes the $500 plus ones, you'll see that as well. You might see porcelain in those, but this one did not even have a porcelain top. It looks porcelain, which is nice, but it is not porcelain. All in, assembly took me probably 2 hours. I always have to estimate that because I'm usually doing something like this while I'm doing other stuff with my son. And so it gets broken up into teeny tiny little pieces and I do stuff when I can, but it probably took me about 2 hours total. Once the vanity was assembled, I was able to take it into the bathroom. And as you can see, there's no back on it, which is what you want from a vanity because you want the plumbing to come through the back. I then secured it to the wall. I tried really hard to put it into studs in the wall so that it really was secure. Having a toddler who will climb things makes you very aware of securing things.
especially heavy furniture. To secure the countertop to the vanity, I just put glue down all along the edges, placed it, and let it sit for a while. And then it was time to add the faucet. Now, I could not have used the faucet from the pedestal sink because that was for a much smaller sink setup, and this sink has 3 holes that are spaced out, I believe 9 inches wide, and that other faucet on the pedestal sink wouldn't have worked here at all. So I got this new faucet. It actually goes with all the rest of the hardware that I have in this bathroom anyway, so that's nice. First, I started installing the handles, the hot and the cold, and I screwed the handles in using the washer that came with the kit that this whole faucet came with. And then it had something I've never seen before, which is this like quick attachment between the actual faucet and then the handles, which I guess allows you to connect the water lines directly to the handles, and then the handles get connected to the faucet, and so everything just runs really smoothly that way. When working with plumbing, it is super important not to over tighten things because that's how parts crack and you get leaks. And so it's really important to screw things in by hand first, and then at the very end, once you can't tighten it anymore by hand, to then tighten using a wrench by only tightening it 1/4 of a rotation. Once the water lines were all installed and connected, it was then time to put in the drain and connect the drain to the outside pipe. So with a drain, there will usually be 2 rubber gaskets, one that goes at the top of the drain, so on the top of the sink, and another one that goes underneath, and the sink gets sandwiched in between them. This helps so much with leakage because if you don't have them, then water is going to leak out from the sides of the drain. You want the water to go through the drain, not around the drain. And then there's usually a plastic gasket that you screw in to secure the drain into place. From there, the P-trap is installed. The P-trap is really important because it collects any debris that might go down and clog your pipes. So sometimes if you get a clogged sink, this might be why, because you've got something stuck in there. But it also keeps the gases that are in the sewer from coming into your house. That U curve catches them and keeps them from going up and out of the drain. And these are just secured together with threaded washer connects. And like I said before, it's the same thing with the washer connects as it was with the water lines. It's imperative not to over tighten these. So it's best to screw them in by hand as much as possible. And then at the very end, when that can't be done anymore, use a wrench to tighten 1/4 of a turn. Once that's all done, it's time to turn the water back on. So both water lines should be turned to the left in order to turn them back on. And I actually will let the water run for a while to make sure that water isn't leaking anywhere. It's not getting stuck in the P-trap. And I'll usually actually sit there and watch the water run to make sure that nothing's dripping. I also keep a bowl underneath the sink while I'm doing all of this to make sure if that any water drips, it gets caught. When I bought this vanity, I knew that it did not come with any hardware for the drawers or the cabinet because the edges of the top of the drawers and the side of the cabinet are designed so that you can just pull them to open. But I decided that to go with the aesthetic of my house and the other things I have built, I wanted drawer pulls and a cabinet pull. So I went to my stash in my workbench and I found a couple of different options and I landed on this more modern style that I have a lot of. And I used my hardware jig to install them. So basically this thing's really cool because it sits on the very top of whatever you're installing it on and lines up with the side, and then you can measure the distance of the holes for the hardware that you're installing, and then you can use that again as a template for the next drawer so everything's lined up. And that was it. It's awesome. I love how it turned out. It looks so good. It stores everything that I needed it to store, plus more. I have all this storage in the cabinet. I even have a ton of space left in the drawers, which is really nice. And while this is a powder bath, so it's not a massive bathroom, it's still a good size, and I don't feel like this vanity overpowers the space or is too big for the space. I think that it offers a lot of storage. It's so much better usage of the space in my mind. All right, so what do you think? I love it. I love having all of the storage now. I have to say, in the cabinet in the bottom shelf, I was able to put 12 rolls of toilet paper and 3 rolls of paper towels along with the tall hair products. And then the bottom drawer obviously is my hair stuff, the top drawer is my makeup. And it just makes it so much easier to get ready downstairs now. It's just all right there. So I love it. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys to see like what the difference is. I will say with a pedestal sink, when I was moving the sink out of the house, I was trying to take it to the car so I could donate it to Restore by Habitat for Humanity so that someone else who was, doing something like this could use it.
Well, the sink and the actual pedestal part weren't really secured with anything other than glue. And when I picked it up by the sink, not knowing that I should have picked it up by the pedestal. And the pedestal, like the stand part, detached and shattered everywhere. So I was still able to donate the top, but it was just a mess that I wasn't expecting. So just a pro tip. So if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe so you can see more like this in your feed. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.